Hey guys, welcome back. Today we're going to talk about my top 3 woofers. I recently did a video about my top 3 tweeters and it was a lot of fun to do. Got a lot of cool comments. People were commenting about their own favorites and generally really positive video and comments, so I appreciate that. So today we're going to talk about my top 3 woofers, and again, just like the tweeter video, this is not the highest performing woofers. This is not some kind of hi-fi, it must be the best in a certain category of some kind. This is just my top 3 favorite woofers to use and work with, or they kind of accomplish all the things I'm looking for in a woofer and do it well. And now they do have to sound good. That definitely is a top requirement. But I'm even considering the size, I'm considering the cost and all that stuff. So there's no really expensive woofers on this list. So anyways, to start, let's get right into it with the Eminence Delta 10 A or B. I really can't make up my mind. I used, if you've seen me on the forums and things for a lot of years, I've used both in a couple of designs for DIYsoundgroup.com. I started with the A version, that's the 8 ohm version, and it's super high sensitivity, and it just performs really well. I mean, this is my third pick because it's so sensitive, yet still sounds very good. What it doesn't do well is, A, it's not small, it's a big driver, so you have to be willing to work with that, and it requires a very robust tweeter to work with, so it has a lot of negatives in that sense, but it's extremely affordable for the size and what you get. It's extremely high sensitivity. Oh, and another negative is you basically need subwoofers. You can get it ported to a point where it sounds okay without subwoofers, but this is really a woofer you use in a home theater type speaker. Not something you would use in a little apartment speaker or something like that. Very high power woofer, very high sensitive, and still sounds great. All for like 70 bucks or maybe even less. So check that one out. Driver number 2 is the Dayton RS225-8. Sorry, -4. I haven't used the 8. I don't think I have. So that's the 4 ohm version, and what I love about this woofer is that it's extremely affordable. It's easy to mount. It's a circle, very standard frame size, and makes huge amounts of bass. It does take a bit of a larger enclosure to do it, but you can port it and get way down into the 30s. Or I've actually used it sealed mostly because I'm a subwoofer guy, and you still can easily hit 60-70 hertz with this thing sealed. So and the bass is extremely good sounding from it. The upper frequency range really is limited to 1000 hertz. You don't want to use this thing past that. But if you can keep it under that, man, it sounds amazing. And all for, I should have looked up the prices before recording, but 50 bucks, maybe 60, and it looks great, like super hi-fi look. So that's the Dayton. It sounds great, it's very affordable, makes tons of bass, works in a variety of applications. The only issue is it really is more of a 3-way woofer rather than a midwoofer, but it can be used in a 2-way. I've used it in a 2-way and it's great. It just takes a special tweeter to do that. Oh, and I should mention, I do have a test video on the Dayton RS225. It's one of the first videos I did, so it was before I knew how to operate the camera really good. It's kind of a dark video. So anyways, you can go onto my Dropbox account, download the files, you can check out the test video and learn more about it. Okay, my favorite woofer of all time is my favorite midwoofer of all time is a relatively new one that I recently used in my Life S5 video. It's the SB Acoustics SB13PFC25-4. I think the only thing I don't like about SB Acoustics drivers is the crazy model numbers they have on these things. Although I gotta say ScanSpeak is worse. It's a plastic frame, it's relatively compact, so what I really like about this driver is pretty much any of you out there could buy this driver and find some application for it, unlike the Delta 10 or the RS225, because those are big woofers. This driver can be used in just a whole range of applications, and I used it in the Life S5 and it sounds amazing. This woofer was so good that it made that little Vifa XT25 Neo ring radiator tweeter. If you ever saw those videos, the tweeter I used with that Midwoofer, it made that tweeter seem really cheesy and crappy. Audibly it was fine, but the woofer really makes that speaker sound awesome. And I think it's $24 or something like that. It's just a bargain. Like if you're starting on speaker design and you're gonna try your first thing, or maybe you're gonna do a design or something, buy this woofer. It's small, so it's easy to build something. It's dirt cheap, so if you screw it up, 25 bucks, unless you're on a really strict budget, then I got some other options for you maybe, but if you can throw around 25 bucks, this is the woofer to start with. It's awesome. And I've got the test files you can download. I've got the test video you can watch. You can see me unbox it. You can hear what my thoughts about it are. And I was a little bit better at making videos by that point, so it's a pretty decent video. And overall, this thing just does everything right. The only real criticism I have for this thing, other than the model number is confusing, is the shape of the frame. Now, it's kind of a pro and a con. It's really hard to flush mount if you don't have a CNC or anything like that. There's ways to do it with pattern bits and stuff, but CNC makes that part a lot easier. But it's also a pro because I personally think it looks really cool. I mean, we've all seen enough circle driver DIY speakers that they get a little bland and tiresome sometimes. This thing really changes it up. I think SB Acoustics made an awesome set of compromises with this driver, with the plastic frame, keeps the cost down. It's a ferrite motor, and you know, uses a simple design yet still somehow pulls it off. The frequency response is incredibly smooth and easy to work with. The bass extension is good enough. It's small, so sealed, the way I used it, sealed, you're not going to get very deep, but you can put this thing in a decently large vented enclosure, something like the Totem Arrow maybe, a tall, narrow cabinet like that, and port it and get pretty good bass output. So this thing does it all, and does it for cheap. It's really hard when I consider all factors in choosing a driver. This is my favorite. I love this woofer. I'm rambling, so there you have it. There's my favorite. So now that I've given you my top three, I just wanted to hit you up with a couple of honorable mentions. The first one is the Peerless 830656. Now, this woofer, it's dirt cheap and super easy to work with. So if you are on a tight budget, like I talked about, and especially if you're not very good at woodworking, instead of the SB, this is the woofer I would start with. In fact, it's the woofer I kind of started with, which is probably why it's on my honorable mention list, because it's actually nothing fancy, but man is it easy to work with, super simple to work with. You can surface mount it, so if you're not good at woodworking, you just cut a hole and drop it in there. So that makes it nice and easy. It sounds half decent. I would even go so far to say good, and it's, I think, 20 bucks, maybe less. Yeah, the reason why I didn't make my list is because for the extra 5 bucks, the SB Acoustic blows it away, and it's got a stamped steel frame that looks like garbage. So yeah, nice and easy to mount, but kind of ugly. I tried to think of an honorable mention to put like in the uber high-end category. You know, like some kind of $300 plus woofer. There aren't any. I can't think of anything that really wins me over and makes me think, okay, I wouldn't put it on my list because it costs so much, but darn, it's good, and I need to at least mention it. So there's none of that. Sorry. But I did want to point out the Magnum 12, De Novo Magnum 12. I haven't used it a ton. I've just played around with it, never put it really in a finished product. I did do a test video on it, and I haven't had it for very long, so that's another reason why I can't make my list. And it also really isn't a mid-woofer. It is a three-way woofer, so that's why it didn't make its list. But I figured I'd mention it because, man, if you do need, like, if you can handle a bigger box for a three-way, that Magnum 12 is, like, I told Eric when he first got it built that it was exactly what I wanted in a, you know, a mid-bass woofer. So that definitely deserves an honorable mention, but it just doesn't fit on my top 3 list. So anyways, guys, that's all I have to say about my favorite woofers and mid-woofers. Catch you later on the next one. Thanks, guys. Bye.